In this film essay, I am going to show you why the film The Boxtrolls is far too underappreciated in the world of stop-motion animation. The film itself is set in the town of Cheesebridge, which is an upper-class Victorian society who value their children and cheese above all else. The evil character of Snatcher, played by award-winning Ben Kingsley, has convinced everyone in the town that their underground neighbours, a group of ugly yet lovable trolls who live in boxes, are dangerous and bloodthirsty, and stole a baby and killed its father many years ago. Snatcher and his three stupid sidekicks, Mr. Pickle, Richard Ayoade, Mr. Gristle, Tracy Morgan, and Mr. Trout, Nick Frost, are employed by the lord of the town to rid all of the Boxtrolls in return for a powerful position in the cheese tasting room. This means that the character of Egg, Fish, Shoe, Winnie, and Jelly are left to clear the Boxtroll's name, save the town from Snatcher being in charge, and stop him from invading the tasting room with his dreadful cheese allergy. The kind of film that often springs to mind when the phrase stop-motion animation is mentioned is mainly Aardman classics like Wallace and Gromit, Shaun the Sheep, and Chicken Run, along with Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. When searching the essential stop-motion animated films, the main films mentioned are The Nightmare Before Christmas, Wallace and Gromit Curse the Were-Rabbit, Coraline, and Fantastic Mr. Fox. No Boxtrolls. So why doesn't the Boxtrolls crop up? Despite the film's various nominations in the 2015 Academy Awards, Golden Globes, BAFTA Awards, and even winning in the Annie Awards Outstanding Achievement in Production Design and in Animated Feature Production. However, the reviews are a mixed bag of criticisms, with a good 77% verified fresh from the rating site Rotten Tomatoes, and a slightly cutting write-up of, while it's far from Laker's best offering, the Boxtrolls is still packed with enough offbeat wit and visual splendour to offer a healthy dose of all ages entertainment. The Vulture wrote, "The Boxtrolls has a good heart. It wants to grab our attention with its grotesquities, but it ultimately speaks of acceptance, of embracing the difference, the bizarre and the unknown. Still not full of the buzzing positivity that one would hope for such an exciting, well-crafted film." The production company behind this magnificent creation is Laker. They have also created well-known stop-motion such as Coraline, Paranorman and The Corpse Bride. All these animations are very well known and credited as some of the best films of their creative nature. However, somehow the Boxtrolls seems to get lost in the background of stop-motion films. One of the criticisms that surround the film seems to centre over the use of grotesqueries. Yet personally, I feel that this is part of the bizarre charm of it. The ability that it holds to make an ugly troll with bright yellow eyes and a manky cardboard box seem cute and lovable. One of the characters that I think is a prime example of this ability is Jelly, the father of Egg. After being tied up for years in the basement of Snatcher's abandoned factory and driven insane, he provides both the answers as to why the Boxtrolls are criminalised and why they raised Egg, as well as wonderfully timed comic relief at key times of tension.
A new species! Never seen before.
Another point of the film which draws me as a viewer is its inability for passive viewing. There's always a poster on the wall, a piece of foreshadowing, or callbacks to earlier in the film. One of the ways this is done is with instruments that Egg and Fish play as he grows up, beginning with a musical teddy bear and adding more with each shot. This both plays the role of showing Egg grow from a baby to a boy and portrays the engineering and innovative abilities of the world in which the Boxtrolls have created for themselves. The in-depth detail of the set design immerses you in a strange world of cobbled streets and cheese-related celebrations, not to forget the amazing amount of cheesy puns squeezed in. The overall quality of voice acting within the movie is of a very high standard. Each voice suits each character and brings them to life in an intriguing and believable manner. However, there are two which I feel help make the film great as a whole. The role of Snatcher, the Boxtroll exterminator, is played by Ben Kingsley. He uses his voice to make the already menacing-looking character become the grimmest and most unappealing of them all.
How did this hat find itself all the way out here?
Kingsley won an Annie Award for Outstanding Achievement in Voice Acting in Animated Feature Production, which I feel is much deserved recognition. The voice of Richard Ayoade plays Mr. Pickle, one of Snatcher's sidekicks, who spends the majority of the film trying to figure out whether they are bad guys or not. The mixture of slightly existential self-awareness and Ayoade's ability to portray how confused the character is at any given time means that he comes in as appropriate comic relief to balance out Snatcher's grotesque nature.
Why else would they hide from us? We are the good guys.
Yeah, I suppose we are.
The film ends with a small 1-minute sketch of Mr. Pickle and Mr. Trout talking about how shocking it would be should their lives be controlled by invisible giants who would painstakingly move them millimetre by millimetre. This gives good insight into how long the movie took to make and shows the audience about how the two characters are repenting for their bad actions by cleaning the streets of Cheesebridge.
And every time we move,
It's actually them moving us.
Seems a bit tedious.
Overall, I believe the Boxtrolls is an underrated stop-motion animation, which has an amazing plot, wonderful cinematography, and is good fun to watch for people of all ages.